Georg's day starts with an early knock on the door. He answers to find a messenger with a letter from Ark Ramdell and a summons from Baron Song. Georg cautiously opens the letter after not detecting any magic on it. The letter explains that Lady Redshield has fled her lands, her title is forfeit, and questions whether Georg has seen what happened to Ramdell's spellbook in the chaos of the attack. When he reaches the Motte and Bailey, Baron Song reveals that he has received a similar letter from Lady Castilian, with the additional information that Lady Redshield has a bounty of 10,000 gold on her, a bounty Baron Song is eager to collect. His courtly duties complete for the day, Georg returns to his house to study his recently acquired spellbook, but it is not long before Count Grella shows up and tells Georg to mount up as a Knoll raid is in progress nearby. They head out and before long reach the village. A bloody battle follows, in which Count Grella nearly dies, but with the magic of the amulet they prevail. Georg, gorged with Knoll souls and feeling heady from bloodlust after slaying the Knoll leader, rants at the remaining Knolls as they flee, perhaps revealing a little more about Malchus and the amulet than he should. After the battle, Gralla and Georg returns to Misty Rapids, a new bond formed between them. When they reach town, they mock Mother Oldman and her zealots. When they come to cleanse them, Georg meets with Marjorie and tells her about Lady Redshield, and Marjorie appeals to him to help her in getting vengeance for her sister, but Georg tells her that now would not be the time. A short while later, he is once more standing before Baron Song, who lets Georg know that he knows about the amulet, but doesn't care much about it. He tasks Georg with a covert mission to investigate Lady Dysek's excavation site and see what he can learn, and if possible, take anything of value without getting caught. When Georg reaches the dig site, he uses the amulet to go invisible to look around. He learns that some kind of temple has been discovered, but the crew has not yet managed to breach a pair of heavy doors. Once night falls, Georg returns to the now abandoned site and uses his magic to open the doors, and inadvertently unleashes a creature of malice and shadows that was lurking within. He flees as the wraith moves to the nearby worker camp and starts slaughtering the unsuspecting crew. Georg flees through the night, returning to Misty Rapids. He wakes the Baron and tells his harrowing tale and the horror he accidentally unleashed on the world. The Baron summons Father Rolnat and instructs him to accompany Georg to the dig site the next day to vanquish the evil and claim whatever lies within the temple for the Baron. The next day, Georg and Father Rolnat head out and soon find themselves before the doors, and once more Georg uses his magic to open them, and again the wraith attacks. This time, Georg uses his magic from the amulet while the wraith is focusing its attention on Father Rolnat. Georg manages to slay the foul creature, but Father Rolnat noticed the amulet and denounced Georg as a servant of the dark, leaving Georg no option but to magically put him to sleep. Georg wrestles with his conscience while deciding what to do, but eventually realizes that the only way is to sacrifice the cleric's soul to the amulet. With the bloody deed done, Georg enters the temple to find it seems to be dedicated to Melkis, and he also finds a large treasure hoard with some magic items within. He returns to the Baron and informs him of the treasure, and immediately an expedition is sent to retrieve the treasure. Georg is given 10% of the loot as reward. When the expedition returns, Georg learns that the statue of Melkis appeared like a different god to each person who saw it, and it was mentioned that Cal Grella saw Verasi. The next night a feast was held, and Cal Grella reveals to Georg he saw what happened to the Nolls and their souls. How many more innocent horses will Georg kill? What darkness hides in Cal Grella's heart? Is there a budding bromance between Georg and Grella? Find out next time on Dicing with Death.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Dicing with Death. How are you guys doing this fine morning? And Ryan, how are you doing this fine morning?
Us guys is doing pretty good.
Excellent. It's been a while since we've played. How long has it been?
Yeah.
Like a week and a half?
Yeah, it's
2
been a long
weeks?
time. Sorry, some gardeners just started demolishing the grass right outside the window as soon as we went live. Sorry if there's horrific noises going on right now, but
it's all right. There's going to be horrific noises coming out of us pretty soon anyway. It's only fair.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Good to be back to the table.
I'm excited. So last we left off, as the description which we all heard just said, you are in the Mott and Bailey after a wonderful feast to celebrate the.
Talking about the souls that I ate.
Well, you feasted on souls. Everyone else feasted on meat and grain.
Okay.
After you freed the
come into play later.
Did we roll for anything yet?
I don't know what we would roll for. We rolled for HP and all that.
Okay.
I sucked, I think.
Okay. Then it's a matter of you get a couple new spells.
Max HP. I think I rolled a 1. I had 15.
Next morning, you are still in the keep, everyone having partied fairly late, and you took your room again.
Sweet deal. Shall I re-memorize spells?
Please do.
And I did just level up. I don't know if that all needs to come into play later.
Did we roll for anything yet?
I don't know what we would roll for. We rolled for HP and all that. I sucked, I think.
Okay. Then it's a matter of you get a couple new spells.
Max HP. I think I rolled a 1. I had 15 before. That sounds right. 15 to 16. Yeah, the only thing I was going to ask is about a new spell. I don't know if I.
Yeah, you get 2 new spells.
2 new spells.
2 new.
I don't even think there's that many dimension spells to be got.
They don't have to be dimension spells. I mean, one of them should be.
Yeah,
but the other
there's no level 3. The only other dimension spells which I've been pining after for a while is Deep Pockets, which is a level 2 spell. I think that would be appropriate.
Yeah, you can grab a level 2. They don't have to both be 3.
Okay. Did I get a second level? I've got a stockpile of spells that I'm trying to learn from a book. Hadn't actually thought what else to ask for. Fireball? I already got Lightning Bolt in the book, but you can think about it. I can maybe even like armor might be.
That's a useful
level 1
thing.
spell. I think that may be the most useful thing I could come up with. Or monster summoning is level 3 spell. Unlimited supply of souls. Are you cringing at that thought?
No, I just hadn't considered that as an approach. Monster summoning 1.
Depends what I roll on the table, but
yes.
Phantom Steed. Unlimited supply of horses?
God. Oh no, I spilled water on my monstrous manual. Oh no. It'll be okay. I'll just have some warped pages. It's a well-loved book. Okay, Monster Summoning 1. What the hell do you get with Monster Summoning 1?
I think it's like goblins and orcs and
Ants, puge bats, fire beetles, bullywugs, goblins, hobgoblins, germlane, kobolds, giant leeches, muck dwellers, orcs, and giant rats. So you could get hobgoblins or goblins.
oh, there's so many good level 3 spells. I want them all.
Well,
I don't know. Phantom Steed could be quite useful.
how long does it last?
1 hour per level.
Ooh, that's pretty useful indeed.
And the way the weight works, movement rate of 4 per caster level to maximum rate of 48. So 4 times 6 is 24, with a weight limit of the caster's weight plus 10 pounds per level.
Wow,
So,
that's really good.
yeah.
And when you hit 8th level, it gains the ability to pass over sandy, muddy, or even swampy ground without difficulty. At 10th level, you can walk on water with it.
Eventually, it can fly.
12th level, it can fly. 14th level, it can fly like a Pegasus. It's pretty good. Are you going to Phantom Steed it up?
I don't know. I may need to think on this. Is that reasonable? Probably should have been thinking this week, but I definitely think I want deep pockets.
All right, take it.
And I don't even need to roll. I've got like 105% chance to learn dimension spells.
Also, the spells you get on level up, I think you just get for free.
I think you're not supposed to roll for them.
I don't think so. I think you get 1 or 2 spells that you don't have to roll for.
Yeah, I think it's usually one-ish, but we've skipped a few levels on accident.
Yeah.
But I should be these will be in my spell book. So I need to. What is it? It's D6 minus.
-1 plus the level.
Okay, so for a second level spell, that'll be D6 plus 1 pages.
Yes. Second level should be D6 plus 2. No, yeah, D6 plus 1.
Shit.
D6 -1 plus 2. Yeah, D6 plus 1. Okay.
So 6 brings me to. I've only got 5 pages left in my spell book. And so that's sweet. I can finally make my magic cloak. And I don't know, we can think about a level 3 spell when I get back to.
Oh, you know what? I lied. It does say you have to roll for it. I'm so mistaken.
All right, so let's roll a G100 and not roll 105.
Well, I think, a roll of 95 or above is always a fail, maybe?
No,
No?
I think if you have 20 int, it goes to 100. So I assume,
24 int is 100.
yeah, so I assume that means that if you, I mean, maybe 100 is always a fail.
Mm-hmm.
But I assume that means if you're a specialist and above 85.
Nope. You know what? There is no fail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There is no. So at 24 int, you know all spells. You can learn any spell guaranteed. You're sitting at 95% though. So close. All right, and then did you want to get another one?
I do, but I don't know what it is. God, there's so many good level 3 spells. I don't think I need both Fireball and Lightning Bolt. That feels like a bit much. Ooh, Dispel Magic.
Yes. I think
It's not in Ramdal's spellbook, is it?
no. I think probably next level you get, I will have a more refined list of spells that you can pick from.
What do you mean? Like you'll be like.
Rather than saying take any third level spell, I'll have a list. But for now, what about Hold Poison? It's a good one.
Hold Poison?
Yeah, it prevents the onset of poison by 1 day per level.
Eh.
I mean, those
Or-
ettercaps that are going to be coming by anytime soon. Meld into stone, monster summoning 1.
I don't really want monster summoning short of the souls, but
How about summon spirit animal?
what is that's a wizard spell?
Yeah, I mean, it's really summon animal spirit. Oh, wait, no, hold on. It's
I think it's
spells
a
and
priest
magic. It's
spell.
probably a priest spell.
You know, with your handy dandy Regal Goblins tool, you can sort by class,
I can.
even by sphere.
Yep. And by school. And by specialization. You can sort by everything. What about some illusion spells? Invisibility 10-foot radius. So you and your horse can vanish. Or web.
That's a third level spell.
That's a second level spell.
Oh,
Or hold person. Probably not. That's kind of a crappy spell. Wraith form.
yeah, I was looking at that. It's pretty cool.
Vampiric touch.
I can't get necromantic spells.
Ooh, how unfortunate.
Wraith form is pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm. For those of you that don't know, Wraith form kind of turns you insubstantial, and you can't be hit by anything other than spells or special magical attacks. Like +1 weapons are better.
Pass through small holes and openings.
Mm-hmm. Anything that mist could pass through, you can just pass right through it. You could walk through doorways or, close doors. You could slip between bars. You could probably walk across the surface of water.
I'm thinking Phantom Steed or Monster Summoning would be.
Didn't you just get Phantom Steed?
No, no. What do you mean?
What'd you roll for then?
I fake rolled for Deep Pockets.
Oh, right.
Um,
Okay. But Deep Pockets is a second level spell, right?
yeah, it's the only dimension spell I don't have, I believe.
Okay.
Aside from maybe some really weird first level spells. And I've been wanting Deep Pockets for a while. Phantom Steed makes a lot of sense considering my poor luck with horses.
If this trend continues, you won't be able to call it luck for much longer.
My skill with losing horses.
Something.
Phantom Steed has a black head and body, gray mane and tail, and smoke-colored, insubstantial hooves that make no sound. Some wizard shit right there, if I've ever heard of it. Yeah, that's pretty badass. I kind of feel like doing the monster summoning infinite soul harvest may make for some may cheapen the experience of the amulet. But I'm the player. I'm supposed to be breaking the game, right?
Yeah.
So difficult. I should have thought of this ahead of time.
Do you want to just pick the other one a little bit later?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, get me
Okay.
back to my house, and I'll keep thinking about it.
All right. So as you come out of your room this day into the Great Hall, a servant comes up to you and presents you with a large bag of coins. And by a large bag of coins, I literally mean like a big bag that's like bulging with coins. And just one hand on the bottom, one hand on the neck of the bag, kind of presents it to you and says, Baron Song says this is your reward.
I take the hefty sack of coins from the servant. That might even encumber me.
Yes, it has a lot of coins in it. It
Heave it over
has,
my shoulder.
it's 20 pounds worth of coins.
Jesus.
Or I guess 19 pounds of coins.
Yeah, that. Heave it over my shoulder. Ooh, I can cast a deep pocket spell and solve all of my problems. All right, I think the servant and shake him off unless he has something else to say.
He does. He kind of waits around for a moment, and then he produces a folded letter that has a seal on one end of it and says, and this letter arrived for you this morning, sir.
What time is it? I like glance out a window.
It's probably a few hours after sunrise.
All right, I take the note and set the coin sack between my feet and pause for a second and look at the note.
It says to Ark Carl.
I didn't say I read it yet, but I guess I'll just fine. I don't. Okay.
Oh, well, no, like I meant like on the outside. It says to Ark Carl.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'll forgive you this once, but I think the paranoia is setting in, and I would like to have a standing order to not read anything without first considering whether or not to read it.
Okay, fair enough. But in this situation, they did know that it was for you, so they had to have looked at the words.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I open the letter then.
It explodes! Ha ha ha! No. I will copy and paste the text to you so you can use it for reference later. But it reads, Dear Ark Carl, while we have never met, I have heard good things of your doing. Ramdal has spoken highly of your abilities, and I hear you helped uncover the true nature of the former Lady Redshield. I think it is time we met. There are dangers in the world that cannot be overcome without the cooperation of great minds like ours. If you cannot make it to Shirebrook by the end of this month, I will be making a visit northward, and can stop by Misty Rapids on or around the 10th. I await your response. Ark Aldrich, the Conjurer of Shirebrook.
A little concerning. As our long-term viewers may know, I have indeed met Ark Aldrich.
Mm-hmm.
Actually had a pleasant encounter, but he's probably since been... His mind has been polluted by the lies of Tyrus. So, I'll have to think how to handle it. I've changed much since then. I doubt that he would recognize me, but we'll have to consider what to do with this.
Yes.
I fold it up and shove it in my pocket, and I look up. Is the messenger still here?
Yes.
Is he like waiting for something, or
Yeah.
is there anything else?
He shakes his head. No, my lord.
Give him a nod. Is it customary to like tip messengers within not within the confines of the castle?
No, because this guy's clearly a servant who just picked it up and brought it to you. If a messenger had ridden into town and handed it to you, a tip would be acceptable, but not required.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Okay. All right. Ooh, non-detection. Make my amulet undetectable. Or myself undetectable.
Hmm.
That's expensive. All right, so I guess I make my way out of the castle. A little bit groggy, probably a little bit hungover.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I think the Nolls killed the third horse. Sounds right. Yeah, and I walked to the temple with the priest.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to start walking back to Misty Rapids.
Walk? You walked back from...
Yeah, because the Nolls killed my horse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't have a horse.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I think the Nolls killed the third horse. Sounds right. Yeah, and I walked to the temple with the priest.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to start walking back to Misty Rapids.
Okay. You head out into the plains, and a little less than an hour later, you find yourself back in Misty Rapids, the quaint little town that is your new home. Well, maybe not new, but is your home.
Sweet. Yeah, so I head to my house, in fact, and set to studying and thinking about my next course of action. So many buns in the oven. So many spells to learn.
I was going to say, is there something you and Aaron haven't told me yet?
This is my fantasy world. Leave her out of this. Just kidding. Love you, dear. Visibility 10-foot radius. God, there's so much good stuff.
So much good stuff. So, what do you want to do today? Are you just going to spend the day in study of spells? You're still learning clairvoyance, I believe?
Yes, still learning clairvoyance. Yeah, I've got a long list of spells to learn, and I haven't yet responded to Ramdal's request or inquisition after his spellbook.
Mm-hmm.
I think ideally I would transcribe the whole thing and then give him back spellbook. That takes forever, right?
Yeah, it would take you a little while.
It takes as long to transcribe a spellbook as it does to learn it.
Yep.
It was
D2 days per spell level.
Okay, per spell level.
Yeah.
So that's like months, probably.
To transcribe the whole thing? Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe let's just pretend it never happened. Or if I ever hunt down the lady, I can say that she stole it and give it back to him. But I think that I am trying to transcribe it, which means I'll need a ton of money to buy a new spellbook for him. Or to buy a new spellbook to copy his.
Right.
So I think that's... So let's count the money.
It is 950 gold. 10% of the value of the temple you raided.
Nice. And a spellbook costs 50 GP per page.
I am looking that up right now. 50 GP per page, but if you want a traveling spellbook, it's 100 GP per page. A traveling spellbook has 50 pages, a normal spellbook has 100 pages. But a traveling book weighs, half as much because it's smaller.
So I need 5,000 GP to get a spellbook. Or I could have a mini regular spellbook.
Yeah, 5,000 GP will get you either a 50-page traveling spellbook or a 100-page, non-traveling spellbook.
Yeah, what if I want half of a book? What if I can't afford 5,000 GP?
Yeah, you could easily buy... You could just have a normal non-traveling book that's 50 pages.
Okay. Are these materials available in Misty Rapids? Like, we can assume that I'm going to transcribe pages and then calculate the cost as I...
Probably not. You'd need to probably head to a city or have one of these things be ordered and delivered to you, because you need the papers need to be specially prepared and properly bound and all that sort of thing. It takes a a very dedicated and skilled person to be a spellbook maker.
Okay.
If you have a book binding proficiency or a book
Wait,
making
hold on.
proficiency, you
Okay,
could do
Lori
it.
the Magnificent spellbook has 35 blank pages in it.
Lori oh yeah, Lori the Magnificent.
Lori the Dead.
Yeah,
Lori the Hyena Food.
yeah.
Poor Lori. Poor Lori. So I guess I can start doing that now.
You can also write these pages, write your spells on crap paper if you want, but if it gets wet or gets damaged somehow, it's probably going to be ruined. Spellbooks are nice, like you could drop a spellbook in water and pull it out and it would still be fine. Or it might get hit with like a blast of a fireball, but if you pass your save, it passes its save. You know. Whereas if you just have crap parchment, it could burn or get soaked or just get molded unintentionally. You could just wake up one day and the spellbook's ruined.
Alright. Do temporary measures until I have more money. Okay, and with the design for my deep pockets completed, I am also going to need to get this garment soon.
Okay. Does it say how much it costs?
50 for the base, so 50 GP. Hold on a sec. Total of 100 pounds as if it were only 10 pounds. Noticeable bulges. So up to 10 pockets holding 10 pounds, or I can spend 100 GP to get 100 pockets holding 1 pound.
Okay. That would
I
solve...
just want the standard, but solve all of my encumbrance issues.
Yeah, if the robe or light garment is sewn with 100 or more pockets, 200 GP minimum cost. 100 pockets can be created to contain 1 pound of weight and 1/6 cubic foot of volume each. So it sounds like...
Or could I spend 250 to have it modular?
What do you mean by modular?
200 is it like as in like you choose when you enchant it which one you do.
Right. So which one do you want to do?
100 1-pound pockets sounds like the most useless shit I've ever heard of. Like,
it sounds like you could keep all your spell components in your pockets without ever worrying about anything.
Oh, okay. What about like a mix between the two? Like 5 10-pound pockets and 50 1-pound pockets?
Yeah, sure. I would just do...
That's what I was saying, like 250 to sew in 10 10-pound pockets, 100 1-pound pockets, and then when I cast the spell.
Oh.
Like
So you want 110 pockets on the thing, and then every time you cast a spell, you get to choose which...
Yeah.
Ah.
The robe or light garments. Okay. So I think that's what I'm going to do today.
Okay.
I'll go to the tailor and get a special robe made. And then I need to go to the, what do you call it? A potter? I don't know, a roofer to get my roof fixed. I still don't think we've dealt with that.
Right.
Freaking errands.
Well, okay, so you go to the roofer and you tell them that you need your roof repaired. Or are you going to have it just be repaired with thatch, or are you going to do a tile
I
roof?
was wanting something flame resistant, so like a tile roof, if that's doable.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is over and above the usual cost of living expenses.
Nope, that's covered.
Okay. So yeah, I'll make those arrangements. I don't know if that needs to be role played.
No, we can gloss over those unless you want to specifically roleplay them.
No.
Okay. So a new roof is being built. Your deep pockets robe you've ordered. It will be done in 8 days.
Okay.
I've got marked that down. Your roof will be done in... They're going to tile the roof, so they got to pull off all the thatch, do all that stuff. So I'm going to say it's going to be done in 3d6 days. That seems a little fast. 3d4 plus 5 days. How about that? That sounds like a good time to 8 and 5 is 13 days to re-roof a house.
Sure. Sounds
Seems
good.
I guess.
I mean, nowadays, I think you re-roof a house in a couple of days,
Yeah.
if that. But we have staples and whatnot. Cool. I think I will have my deep pockets robe made black.
Made black.
Yeah, just a plain black robe with hundreds of secret pockets
Okay.
sewn to the inside. Is the cost in the pockets, or is it also like finely embroidered or something like that?
It's got to be
High
a
quality
fine material, and then you have to. I mean, I think the pockets probably have to be really well done. You know,
Yeah.
not just your standard pocket that you sew in there, but they have to be properly stitched and properly hidden. And I don't really know the specifics
Yeah.
of sewing.
Yeah, so I think a fine black velvet robe. I don't think any trim, and then I think I'll like wear like a mantle of Lord Songs. Like instead of the gray robe, just have a gray mantle with a little thing stitched on it that I can like throw on when I'm on official business.
Sure, perfect. Is there anything else you want to specifically do today?
I don't think so. I think I'm then going to go home and get back to the spell studying.
Okay.
Catch up on that. That
At
must
the
be a weird conversation with the tailor. Like, maid shows up and he's like, I need a robe and I need exactly 150 pockets sewn to these specifications. Well, I've got this black fabric right here. No, no, no. It's got to be the most expensive imported fabric you've got. Yet. Like, well, it'll take a few days for it to be delivered.
But he's happy for the work. Cash on delivery, of course.
Yeah.
All right, so you spend the rest of the day in study and
Yeah,
finish.
deciding which spell to roll for. I think I'm going to go for Phantom Steed. The
All right.
monster farming, while an interesting idea, I feel dirty. I would feel dirty.
Just summoning monsters to murder them for their souls.
Yeah, because you're supposed to be you summon monsters that think they're there to serve you, and then the wizard just starts hacking them to bits. They roll a morale check in that case.
I don't know. We'd have to see how it goes.
All right, I think so. For non-dimension spells, I have a 95 minus 15. I have an 80% chance to learn. Ooh, I almost failed, but I do develop the Phantom Steed.
Fantastic.
4. I have 1 page left in my spellbook.
You also learn clairvoyance.
Ooh.
Now, I don't know how we're going to add that to your spellbook since you only have 1 page left.
So yeah, 1 page left. I don't think it's in my. I think I'm trying to transcribe Ramdal's spellbook. I think.
Oh, I guess you could just leave it in his book currently. You don't need to write it down anywhere.
But I wanted. I'm not sure how to handle Ramdal. Like he had sent me that letter a few days ago, or maybe it was just yesterday, even asking if I knew where his spellbook was. So I could just pretend I don't. I still feel kind of bad, like stealing the poor guy's spellbook, but he did drag me into a whole mess of trouble.
Yeah.
For now, we can see. Okay. Clairvoyance, eh?
You know clairvoyance. Doo-doo-doo-doo. So, what is your next spell that you're going to learn?
I think Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt.
Not Clairaudience? Lightning Bolt? Lightning Bolt.
I believe Lord Song did request Clairaudience as well. Is that correct?
He did. If you guys are unfamiliar with the Lightning Bolt spell, I have a link in chat for you. For those of you watching on YouTube, just Google Lightning Bolt LARP, and you can follow along with the rest of us.
Lightning Bolt. Yeah, I haven't passed it yet. So. Okay.
Is that what you're going to learn?
I think I want Lightning Bolt. Clairaudience. I'll do Clairaudience next, but I need some more combat potential.
And what is your chance to learn Lightning Bolt?
80. it takes the time regardless of whether you learn it? Is that what we decided?
Yeah.
So I think I'm guessing it probably, like, even though I automatically get these spells on leveling up, I probably need to spend the afternoon transcribing them into my spellbook, or have I already been thinking about this?
You've been thinking about this. You
I've been
can.
losing these horses and trying to devise a way to a solution.
Yes.
Come up with this phantom steed spell.
Okay. So the next day rolls around. It is Friday,
Yeah.
the 26th of February. Today is the day the gem merchant, should be returning from the capital.
Yeah, so I think I need to kill those frickin' displacer beasts. Clairvoyance. I want to play with this new spell, so I will memorize that on the next day. I probably have to cast. I burned some blinks the night before and spend 10 minutes popping in and around my living room.
You need a pinch of powdered pineal gland to
Yeah,
cast
that's what I was gonna. I
Clairvoyance.
might have some.
Where would you have gotten pineal gland?
I do remember it coming out like where did I get some? Let me. That's what I'm checking.
Ramdal was looking for some pineal gland.
Yeah, give me just a second. Maybe I'm remembering the pineal shortage. Let me check what I had from. The only thing I can think is Bruce.
No, it's not in Bruce's
That's
stuff.
Bruce.
I just checked.
Okay, that's what I was pulling up. All right. So I need to go find a body. Okay, so I think that's what I'm going to do the next day is head to the Mott and Bailey and see if Baron Song has any bodies lying around. That sounds like something that he might have.
Okay. So
It doesn't specify. It doesn't need to be human pineal gland, right?
it doesn't say human.
So there's also all those Knoll corpses that I don't know where they went.
So you head
I
back
have
to
2 potions and a magic scroll from the temple. Let me see if I wrote down what those were. Okay, it's a scroll of protection from undead.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And 2 unidentified potions, I believe. So I can try. Wow. Okay.
Would you like to try to identify those potions?
Does a true seeing reveal the nature of a potion, or does it just reveal that it would just say that it's a magic potion?
I think it would just say that it's a magical potion.
Is this why you suggest that I learn slow poison?
No,
I
I
can't
was just
imagine
looking at
that
the
a
list.
temple would have poison. Yeah, I think I will. I'll do a little the sip test with these potions.
Okay. Let me get out my handy-dandy book. Where are these things? So there is, I believe, a potion and an oil.
Okay.
The first potion that you take a sip of, you do as you take just a couple of drops in your mouth, you feel your muscles kind of tense and then relax a little bit, and everything kind of just slows down around you. You know, the leaves start to fall just a little bit slower. The people's walking almost becomes slow motion, and for a few
I'm
seconds,
doing this in my house.
yeah, I mean, you can look out a window.
Yeah. So it seemed like a potion of haste or something along those lines.
Something
It
along
seems
those
like
lines.
I'm speeding up, or everything is slowing down. It's not slowing me down. It's slowing.
It's slowing everything else down around you, or maybe it's speeding you up. Yeah.
Huh. Do I think that would extend to spellcasting?
You would have to imbibe the potion to find out, I think.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. And then the oil, I guess I'll rub a little bit on the back of my hand and see if I can figure that out.
Okay. As you open the oil, I need you to roll your dexterity or less on 2d10.
Shit.
What's your dexterity?
Dexterity is 8. God, and I'm at. Did I gain any HP the night before?
Yeah.
So I'm at 10 out of 16.
Oh my god.
Did I just expend this oil?
Well, give me a dex check on 2d10.
Oh, I rolled pretty well, but
Is that a pass?
No, I rolled. My dexterity is 8.
Oh my god. Hold on. Let me read this all the way through.
Is that really? Is this how the campaign ends, Neil? Is this like a?
Give me a saving throw versus spell. I don't want it to end like this.
Saving throw versus spell is 12.
12 or higher?
Okay, I pass.
Okay. There is a large explosion as you uncork the potion. But you pass, so you take half damage. So you take... What is this? Instead of taking 19, you take 9 damage.
1 HP. At least I'm alive.
Yeah. The whole thing explodes in your hands. Just the explosion rocks the foundation of your house. And moments later, as you're kind of sitting there stunned and dazed from the explosion...
I was still in my house, so let's hope that all of my equipment wasn't on me. Like I was just hanging out in my bathrobe.
Yeah.
What's the damage? What? Okay, I mean, I guess I reel...
You reel from the explosion. Yeah, and you notice small little fires are started around your house. Like your bed's on fire a little bit, and you know, your just various things around your house are in small amounts of flame. People start coming over and pounding on your door. Carl, are you okay?
How many small fires?
Like 4. You can put them out. It'll take a little time, but you can do it.
Yeah, I start putting them out. I think I pick the largest one and reduce it with a reduce spell. And then I start running around like a crazy person putting them out. I don't think I let anyone in.
Okay, there's a lot of pounding on your doors and people screaming, Carl! What's going on in there? Oh my god, I smell burning hair. I think he's dead. We gotta... the door's locked. How do we get in?
I ignore the screams and put out the fires. And I think my first priorities are like valuables. Like I go over to the table and see that spellbooks haven't been blown to pieces. How big was the blast radius?
All creatures within 10 feet of impact will be affected. Yeah, so anything within 10 feet of you. So pretty much everything in your house.
My house is only 10 feet big.
Well, it's like 20 feet by 20 feet. So if you're in the middle.
All right. So so what's the damage? What do we want to do with my equipment?
You passed your save, so whatever you've got on you is fine. All your spells are in spell books
or scroll cases.
Cases, so they're fine. You don't have any. You haven't written down any spells on just normal paper, have you?
No.
Okay.
Bruce's spellbook is on scrolls, but those are in a scroll case.
Yeah, and those are properly prepared scrolls. They're not just like crap scrolls.
Yeah, there's blank parchment in a backpack. Like, what is my backpack damaged, or is everything in there protected?
No, you passed your save, so everything's fine.
Okay.
We'll say you managed to tip it properly.
Flavor text, my robes are once again singed, and my house is in shambles.
And you've kind of lost some eyebrows, and your hair's a little bit singed all over. And if you had a beard, you don't anymore.
No, I shave pretty much daily with Carl.
Okay.
Carl the Dagger, not Carl the Carl.
Right. If you were bare-chested, you've lost all your chest hair.
All right. Yeah, so some minutes later, I get packed up, step out into the street.
All right, you
looking
step out into the
sour.
street as like people start tearing, like coming in through the thatch in your roof.
Hey, get off! I mean, I guess I got the roofers coming that day, and
Yeah.
I will likely need a more extensive remodel.
Okay.
Is there anywhere to wizard lock my wealth?
You have a
Yes.
chest at the base of your
Okay.
bed.
So okay, I did have a wizard lock memorized. So before I leave, I will put the 950 GP
Mm-hmm. Cool.
in, and then whatever other miscellaneous valuables are in the house into that.
I am really glad you passed that save because that was
Me too.
5d6 damage.
Jesus, how did I live? How am I alive?
Well, they rolled a 19.
God, does that, like, if you toss it and it blows up, does it?
It does
Is that what it's used
5d6 damage to anything within 10 feet of the impact point, and it can consume up to 6 regenerating troll bodies if appropriately applied to them.
What a waste.
Oil of fiery burning.
Uncorking it, it says uncorking it causes it to explode.
Yes, unless you can make a dex check on 2d10. 2d10
Okay.
equal to or less than your dex. Then you can cork it back in time and only take d4 damage from a little spurt.
Well, that is a bummer.
Yeah.
I walk out into the crowd, singed.
I was, oh man. Whew. Good times.
How thick is the crowd at this point?
Oh, like 40 or 50 people.
Okay.
That's
right
pretty
in the
thick.
midst of this crowd, I cast a spell.
Which spell?
Out of the arcane words, wave my hands around, and I conjure a quasi-real horse-like creature. It has no material components, by the way.
Everyone backs up. Oh!
Phantom steed has a black head and body, gray mane and tail, and smoke-colored, insubstantial hooves that make no sound. Its eyes are milky colored. It does not fight, but all normal animals shun it, and only monstrous ones will attack. So that could come in handy.
Everyone kind of takes a gasp and pushes each other back as this steed appears before you, ready to
I
ride.
shut my wizard-locked door behind me, unless I'm expecting the roofers. Am I expecting roofers today? Should I leave the house unlocked?
They'll be working on the roof.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shut my door, climb aboard my steed, and head towards the Martin Bailey.
All right. It's a nice, pleasant journey through the warm, sunny day, and you arrive at the Mott and Bailey a few minutes later. Kel Crystal lets you in without any word, making sure to open the gate far before you arrive.
Mm-hmm.
And you see there Kel Greller is working with some men, training them out in the yard. It looks like the number of soldiers is up to 12.
Okay. I don't think I bother stabling my horse. Like, it's a magic steed, it doesn't wander off, so I just like park it somewhere off to the side and just like leave it there looking menacing and phantasmal.
Okay.
And I seek an audience with Baron Song.
All right. Give me one sec here. Okay. You find Baron Song in his war room, looking over his maps. It's got a map of the entire area, and you see there's a little flag sitting on top of the village that you visited with the priest, the one that you found the wraiths in. There's a little flag there, and there's some bits of other.
Say that again. He's got it's marked at the temple is marked on the map.
Yeah, or that town is marked. And you notice that there is a bit of yarn that's encircling a large territory within the barony that's off to the east.
To the east, so near Thornwood. Like
yeah, near the border of Thornwood Forest.
Okay. My lord.
Ah,
take a bow.
Carl.
Hopefully he doesn't. I don't know if he mentions the singed eyebrows, but I started with I have some good news for you.
Excellent.
I have completed the study of a spell you asked for long ago. Much overdue. The power of clairvoyance.
Fantastic.
However, I require some unsavory ingredients.
Go on.
Is there an empty seat or something?
Yes. He's standing, but there is a chair as well.
Okay, that's fine. I stay standing. Pineal gland. Do you know what this is?
He shakes his head slowly.
It's a small organ in the brain of most mammals. Let me actually. Yes, a small gland in the brain of. I guess I can just get an animal, right? Nearly all vertebrate species possess a pineal gland. The most important exception is the hagfish.
That's the important exception.
Thanks, Wikipedia. So maybe I wouldn't even need to tell him about this.
You could also get a free soul.
But for them, okay.
Wait, alligators lack them, and that's somehow less important than a hagfish?
I have no idea. I think the hagfish lacks them because they split off earlier in like the evolutionary tree, and alligators have lost them after the fact. Like alligators have gotten rid of them. Like
I see.
Or whatever. Hagfish maybe never. I don't know. I didn't read in that much detail.
Pineal gland, and this can be acquired from what?
Well, that's the unsavory bit. Dead bodies. I suppose in theory it could be animals. Or Nolls.
Would a unicorn's pineal gland be worth more than...
I don't believe so, no. I think that creature is could be much more valuable for its other parts.
Have you made any progress on that front?
Alas, I think we've made enemies with the most probable buyer. That is the Lady Redshield.
Surely there must be other buyers. I can't keep bleeding this creature in my dungeons forever. Makes it very difficult to keep prisoners when they see what is down there. Unfortunately, those prisoners won't be long for this world. Perhaps their pineal glands will be of use to you. A few local bandits were brought back here some days ago. They've been rotting down in the dungeons. They've probably seen more than is good for them, though.
I sort of bite my lip. Shall I dispose of them?
If you need a guard to go with you, take Greller. I wouldn't want any of the fresh recruits to see this.
I nod. I think I can handle a few. Actually, I'm at 1 HP. Maybe I can't handle a few brigands. Very, very well.
Good. He knows where the keys are.
Okay. Is he here in the room now, or
No, he's down in the yard training.
Mm-hmm.
I do hope we can find a buyer.
Yes, I will get back on this immediately. I'm sorry I've been distracted, but
we need our dungeons available.
Do I know how long it will take to process the pineal gland? Like, is that like a afternoon activity, or does it need to be like dried and prepared?
It needs to be dried and powdered. So cut it out, let it dry for 24 hours, grind it up.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. Well, I will go speak with Greller and get to cleaning out the dungeons.
What do you say to Greller when you
Okay.
find
Before I
too many-
leave Lord Song, I say, do think about what you would like to be, or where you would like to first peak. I should be ready by tomorrow.
Well, I think that it will be a decision we need to make together. You see, come, look at this map with me.
I take a look. As I'm like walking over to the table, I say, there are certain limitations. It needs to be a location that is either familiar to me or obvious. Somewhere that I've been, or perhaps if there is an object I could fix on in that area, or a purse. And in any case, and
Look here, he
over
says,
the
and he
table.
points to the outlined territory, which is now on the map, and says, this here is Dissect land. And you notice the little flag marker is right where you were at that other village.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's actually probably a little higher, but whatever. I find myself not content with that one village. Do you know the laws of succession in this realm? Are you familiar with them?
I assume it passes from father to son, or next of kin.
Firstborn.
Yes.
Yes, we do not pay attention to the sex of the child.
Okay.
Lady Dissect has a single son. His name is Dolan. He stands to inherit everything she owns. If he were to die and she were to pass away, her lands and territories and properties would go to her nearest of kin, which would be a niece of hers. Fortunately for us, we have a former servant to Lady Dissect's mother, Lady Lisa Dissect I, who is willing to testify that her mother, well, that her sister and that Lady Dissect's sister and brother are half siblings, born of a bastard offspring, born
Is this
to another
true?
man. It is true enough for our purposes. You see, in situations of like this, where who the land and properties should pass to is uncertain, the local baron, or count if you're near a county, the seat of the county, is the one to arbitrate these decisions. And in the meantime, the spouse of the deceased has regency over these lands. He points out on the map again and says, if Lady Dissect dies and she does not have an heir, her husband is the one to see to the lands until her lord, he points to himself, can decide whether or not these sister and brother are of proper inheritance rights. Do you see where I'm going with this?
I'm afraid I don't exactly have a mind for such politics.
Lady Dissect is unmarried.
Oh, this I did not know.
Yes. Her
And
late husband passed away many years ago. If her son were to die, and she were to be married to me, well then, if she were to die, I would be the regent of her lands until I arbitrate on her brother and sister being of proper inheritance.
is the Lady Dissect
Amenable to me? No.
Hmm.
Not in the slightest. At least, she won't be until you're done with her. I presume a man of your craftsmanship could persuade her to fall in love, long enough at least to see her son die in a poor accident of some kind, a tragic accident just before the wedding, and then assassins from, I don't know, the Red Shields or someone else come and kill my poor bride so early in our future together. A sick smile begins to spread over his face.
I'm afraid I've never been much of a charmer. But there may be other ways of persuasion.
Yes. We not only remove our most annoying thorn, but we also gain their territory. Two birds with one stone, as they say. That is, of course, if you can manage to persuade her to love me for a period of time.
Am I really the best matchmaker you could muster? I'll think on this and see what I can do.
Surely you must have some sort of love potion you can craft.
This is a bit out of my area of expertise, but I will see what can be done, or what can be procured.
Excellent.
This guy got so many quests that I don't know if I actually want to do.
Okay. Well, that's that. You can now head off and talk to Kel Greller.
Greller, yeah. All right. I guess I go to visit with Greller in the yard.
Okay.
Is he's training with the men?
Yeah, he's working on their spear thrusts and shield wall. He sees you approaching and has the men halt while he walks over to you a few paces from them.
Oh shit!
Kind of
I was
towering
writing
over
down
you.
the wrong saving throws.
You got better saves?
Way better. I think I was looking at priest saves.
Oh.
How did I fuck that up so bad? So, yeah, my saves did go up at level 6.
Ooh, 13, 9, 11, 13, 10.
13, 9.
11, 13, 10.
13, 10. Nice. Thank you, chat. Thank you.
I'm glad.
Max Noob Pwoner. You also says my Thaco went up? I don't think...
It goes up at 4 and 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every 3 levels beyond first.
Okay. Yes. So in the yard, the boys are training.
Boys are training. Greller comes over to you as you approach. His face is grim, dark with whatever hidden emotions he has.
Our Lord has asked me to deal with some prisoners in the dungeons.
And
he suggested that I borrow you for a moment to make sure that things don't get out of hand.
He takes a look at your singed face.
I've had a rough morning.
Seemingly.
I may actually... He said there were brigands in the basement that have seen too much. And
Yes, they've
Two
been
of them?
2 of them. I don't know if they've seen much, but they've been down there long enough to have spotted our special guest. It's been
Well,
dark for them, though. Very dark.
well, I have certain requirements for magics that the Lord requests, and well, disposing of them would kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
And you need a little bit of protection while you're down there. Afraid of a few bandits, are you? The great Carl, slayer of wraiths, quaking in his boots from some bandits. Don't worry,
Well,
it'll be our little secret.
just could you spare a minute just to make sure things don't get out of hand?
He nods, and with a broad smile, maybe one of the first times you've seen him smile, turns back to his men, tells them to take a 10-minute break, and then to
This
run around the...
conversation was in whispers. So
Right. Yeah, he tells them to take a 10-minute break and then run around the keep 5 times. He goes inside, grabs a key from the entrance to the dungeon. Like, you go into the main hall, there's a door off to the right that leads to a small, like, room that precedes the dungeon. And there's a key hook there with a dungeon key on it. The security's pretty light. You know, anyone could walk in and grab these dungeon keys, you figure.
Okay.
And then he takes a lantern off the ground, gets it lit, and proceeds to descend into the depths of the dungeon underneath the tower, underneath the keep.
Yeah. So I have a color spray, which I will probably allow me to take care of this without any issue, but we'll see. Actually, they don't even get saving throws. Okay, well, we'll see. I needed Greller to unlock the door for me.
Okay. He comes down, shines the lantern on. You see the jail cells as they were arranged before, and shines the lantern down onto 2 people in a single cell. They scramble back against the wall and shield their eyes from the blinding light.
As the unicorn is still there in like the first cell or something?
In the last cell.
Okay.
Yeah. You hear one of them hiss, "Water! Water, please!"
I go for my side, which does have a water skin hanging from it. Come here, you 2. Your suffering is almost over.
They scramble up to the gate and start reaching through it for the water.
Hold on. And I start muttering the words to color spray under my breath, and instead of producing the water skin, I produce a fistful of colored sand and throw it in their face. So I guess I need to roll the d6, and that's the critical one. No, I only get one of them.
One of them stumbles backwards. The other, shields his eyes.
Fucking sand.
And Greller looks at you with a little bit of confusion, and then begins to open the gate. The other guy scrambles. The one who's not knocked unconscious is scrambling backwards, pushing himself against the wall and hissing.
Well, I suppose this is about to get ugly.
Greller walks in, unsheathes his sword, and starts just
hold on,
non-lethaling the guy with the flat of the blade to knock him into a corner.
All right. Does he beats him unconscious?
No, he just kind of makes sure he stays in the corner and keeps him pinned there while you go up to the unconscious body.
I think I'll actually start with the living one. God, this is they were supposed to be unconscious. What are you whispering? What is that sound? Harvest. Keep. keep him at bay for just a second, or knock him out. And I think I go to the unconscious one.
What do you do to the unconscious one?
Do I drag? Grello doesn't care. I harvest his soul.
All right. You plunge your dagger into his belly, ripping it open, giving you room to plunge the amulet of Malchus into his body and suck his soul out of it. You notice...
What happens in the corner?
I mean, you're focused on your task here. It requires all your attention. But when you look up from it, you see Greller has the sword pointed at the prisoner, but is watching you with eyes fairly wide. The prisoner in the corner is completely pale and completely motionless.
Contemplating whether to use a true seeing now and recharge. Let's just get this on with. I stride over to him and...
You can only hold one soul in the amulet at a time.
Oh, yeah, I use it to charge my stats.
Okay, cool.
I didn't even keep it in the amulet.
All right.
Yeah.
And you harvest the second one?
Yeah, I think while Greller has him like just chased into the corner, I just go up to him and knife him to death. And like as he passes past 0 and quits struggling, I harvest his soul with the amulet.
Yeah.
Does he put up a fight, or is that?
He's gonna put up a bit of a fight. Absolutely.
Okay. So do you want me to?
I want you to roll initiative,
including weapon speed.
Yeah.
Ouch! I'm slow.
All right.
As I start striding, or as I turn towards him, dagger in hand.
He lashes out with a kick and hits you.
An opportunity attack.
Yes, it's an unarmed attack against a man with a bladed weapon. Get a opportunity attack at +4. So a d20 +5.
+6, because Carl is magical.
Ooh, nice. You skewer him.
Only 2 points of damage.
It's okay. He was at 1 HP anyway. He drops unconscious as you slash through his leg.
All right. I kneel down, like finish him with a stab through the gut. Harvest the soul. And I look up sheepishly to Greller. Nice. Now I need to get to the Lord's business. It's about to get messy in here. You may wish to.
This isn't messy.
Let out a sigh. It's only just begun.
All right. We'll take a break while Carl harvests the pineal glands, which are located near the brainstem.
They're in the brain somewhere. I don't even know if Carl knows. We'll be digging around.
It's dark, and fortunately, no one's left alive to feel the...
Jesus, it's a pea-sized conical mass behind the third ventricle of the brain. So I'm looking for a pea in the brain.
It takes a while, and we're going to go to break while Georg carves the man's brains apart. See you guys in a few minutes.